Hello. We're on two different, platforms here. And I really like kind of doing this in between the two of you. So just like getting everything set up on two platforms and like my laptop and my phone. It's always like, I don't want to say it's like an ordeal, but it's always like making sure that the lighting's right and that the things are right and everything like that. And so anyway, I'm super excited to be live, you guys. I haven't been live all week, which is like wild because I was going live pretty consistently there for like a whole month. But this week, I guess I don't have to explain myself, but this week I had Joe, how are you? How are you doing on this Friday? We always love when Joe joins. If you don't follow Joe Ignam, he is a sales genius and he has a podcast as well. I recommend following him, subscribing to his podcast. He's an incredible human. But anyway, when you guys join, say hello. There's 3 calls left, and I think I did have some times ironically open tomorrow. So if you did want to book, it's $55 for a 30-minute phone call with me. This is if you want to go through digital marketing, funnels, relationships, spirituality, any of it. You are an incredible creature of love. Thank you, Joe. I love having your support. Hello, the Bowler dude. And so I had, anyway, these big papers that are due, these calls, right? And I have my new course, How to Date, which is coming out. And this is for those of you who feel like, and the post that I'm doing later today was done like almost a year, or more than a year ago. And it's like, I hated dating. I hate dating. Like, and I'm like, that's so funny because now I'm so different. I'm like dating, or I'm going on dates, or whoever I'm dating, we're like dating. And so it's just like funny. So I wanted to do a whole program on dating because I know I have a large male client base. I know a lot of you will wonder like, how do you date me? Or you've asked to take me out. And I wanted to really find a way where I could offer you a space. Hello, my love, how are you? I wanted to really create a space where I could offer you an opportunity to learn how I've changed my mindset on dating, from how I went from like hating dating. I hated like getting to know people. I always felt like it was going to be a hassle. I always felt like it wasn't going to be fun. And I then really wanted to put that into 3 calls. So the program How to Date is going to be done over 3 months, and we start June 14th, so Tuesday, in 4 days. It's a really, all of my launches are short launches, you guys. I don't have the patience for you to like to take a week or 2 weeks or 5 weeks to decide. It's like, okay, here's what I'm doing. Here's the launch. You're in or you're out. It's like, you know, you want to evolve your life. You know, you want to fall in love. You know, you want to have freedom. You know, you want to live a career that you love. You know, you want to impact or you don't. I don't have time to sit here and like convince. Like, you just know or you don't. And I've obviously devoted 4 years of my life into this online world for you to be able to have evidence and see that I'm consistent. You can see other people's results on my website, colleengallagher.co, and there's that. So anyway, it's going to be 3 months. We start June 14th. 1 call is going to be content. So the first one, I want to go over what is your current dating habit? What is your current thing that you're doing for dating? How do you do it? And is it working for you? Because most of the time we're like, oh, I don't want a girlfriend or a boyfriend, but secretly we do want a boyfriend or girlfriend, or secretly do want to have like this great love affair, but we're just not being honest about it because we're afraid of rejection. We're afraid of all men or all women are like this. So we don't want to try because we already know the result. Well, that's actually hindering you from creating the dating scenarios that you want. And I've dated so much. Like I look at my life and it's so interesting because I've dated where I've had more open relationships. I've dated where I've had extremely monogamous relationships. I've dated where I'm dating multiple people at one time and they're dating multiple people, but it's not like together. It's like they have, like, I've really done it all, and I've had the most beautiful experiences where I've traveled the world. I've fallen in love. I've experienced love. I've had the most amazing dinners. I've had the most amazing walks in the park. I've had the most amazing intimacy experiences. And I really wanted to find a way for more people to feel this instead of sliding into my DMs or my messages and thinking that I'm the solution for you. Because I have a rule, if you guys don't know, I don't date people that are from the internet. So if you know me from here, I will not date you. I will not meet up with you unless it's one of my events or courses. So that's the first part. The second part is that after the content call we have each month, so the first one is on like that, then we're gonna go through like actually how to date, what are the things you like, what are the things you desire, how do we actually really cultivate a date, an environment that's gonna allow a relationship to flourish. And why I believe in this work so much as well is because you can't have successful business relationships, you can't have successful client relationships, you can't have successful supplier relationships. None of these are going to work unless you start within. Like you start with intimacy in your own relationships, right? Like how could you have the best relationships in business or in your career when your relationships at home are horrible, or you're afraid of them, or you don't like dating? If you don't like dating, then you're not going to like the other relationships, because that's the relationship that's the most close to you, it's the relationship that's most sensitive to you, and it's the relationship that's most alive for you. Anyway, it all starts with that, so that you can have a soul-led business for like myself, where I have clients all over the world. I think we've had 20-something countries enroll in all of my programs in 4 years, which is exciting. If you look at my podcast, 62 or 61 countries, which is so phenomenal. Like we definitely have a global footprint. And the last part is, how do you really build longevity of relationships? How do you build it for sustainability and longevity, and how do you make this happen? So those are the three content. And then after, Janika, how are you? I just saw one of your lives the other day. So the first part is that at the beginning of every month, we're going to have a content call. Then we're going to wait 2 weeks. You guys can go and implement whatever it is you're meant to implement, whatever it is you want to implement, and from the call. And then we have an application and practice call, application, practice, and embodiment call. This is where we take everything that I talked about. We take what you just went out and implemented in the world and dating and talking to people, men and women. This is a gender neutral course. What I teach is the same across gender. It's the same if you like men. It's the same if you like women. It's the same principles, just obviously the attraction you have, the desire you have is toward whatever you want. And then we're going to go through how do you like implement this, and we're going to go through practices together. We're going to be live together doing this and practicing, so you guys actually can begin to apply it real life, and we'll have real life feedback. You can see other people and learn from them. It's going to be a super safe container and super safe space. So I'm super, super excited to be offering this, How to Date, because there was a time in my life, and it feels like it was so long ago, because like I literally read that blog and I was like, you guys know I don't date a lot, and I'm like, that's such a joke. Now I date like all the time. I feel like it's like a hobby. I shouldn't say that, but in a way it kind of is like a hobby. And you know, I shouldn't say hobby, but it's something I really enjoy, right? And I believe actually dating now, even if you're in a long-term relationship, and this course could be for you if you're in a long-term relationship, you can never stop dating, right? The moment you stop dating, the moment you stop treating someone like they're your boyfriend or you're the girlfriend, or you stop treating someone with respect or desire, it's over, right? It's like things get dull, they get bland, it's not alive and present anymore. So anyway, that's the course that I'm creating, and we start on Tuesdays. Our first call, I think it's 5 p.m. PST. Which is exciting. And then once you enroll, which I left the enrollment link in the comments, if you're on Instagram, you can just comment date or message me date, and I'll get you the link, or it will be in my stories. You can click the link. Enrollment is as low as $22.22 a week. So that's the lowest payment plan that you can get in. There's an absolute no-brainer if you've been wanting to understand this. So anyway, I wanted to share a little bit of a story. I kind of did this backward, but I want to share a little bit of a story because there's a post that I'll have go later about dating, but you know, I remember, I want to share this, that I was kind of the girl or the woman in college that I would, you know, always be dating multiple people. So I was like in college and I had like 5 guys I'd be like dating, and I wouldn't be intimate with all of them. Not that it matters if I was, but I wasn't. But I would like go out to the bar, right? And there's not that many bars where I went to college, like a few. And so basically by the end of the night, all the guys and me would be at the same bar. And then I would like figure out which one I wanted to be with, or which one I wanted to go with, or I don't know, whatever that was. But it was interesting because I never, looking back on it, it was so funny, like none of those guys ever got mad at me, and they never like frustrated, where obviously that's like a very polarizing thing for women to dating 5 people and they kind of know about it. And I wanted to talk about that because I think one thing in dating, and I think with men's partners, we're so afraid to be honest with who we are and what we want out of this life, what we want from someone. because we feel like if we say that I want to date, or I want to just be single, or I want to whatever, that we are gonna get what we want. Like somehow if we say what we want, we're gonna be rejected, or we're gonna be like shunned, or we're gonna be shamed. And so the biggest thing I've always learned, and how I've had a lot of successful relationships, I'd say, and how I've experienced a lot of beautiful things in this world, is to just be honest about who you are and what you want, and stop being so afraid of it. And so I really wanted to find a way to impact more people, because the number one thing that's in my phone when people are messaging me is always about relationships. It's either creation or relationships. Those are the two things that people are always messaging me about. And I've seen relationships, like I've been a guide in restoring them, because I've heard two parties and been able to restore what's going on. And I've also been a guide in people getting divorced and moving away from each other and getting into the right relationships they're meant to be in. And so I wanted just to find a way for more people to get access to this. And that's why I'm making this self-study course such a accessible access point of how to date. And because also relationships are the foundation of everything. Nothing in your life that is quality, nothing in your life that is meaningful, rarely will it ever happen without somehow involving a relationship. Either you getting on a flight, that's a relationship. Either with you getting a taxi driver, that's a relationship. You listening to someone like me, this is a relationship that I have with each of you. And so, very few things will ever happen without a relationship being present. And so you want to really start at looking at your relationships from within, and like I said, like your innermost circle, your innermost reality. Because if those aren't well, then your relationships in every other area isn't going to be well, because the same blockages you have with something that should be the closest to your heart, you're definitely going to have bigger blockages with people that are supposed to be further away from your heart. So anyway, I wanted to share that, wanted to offer that. And then, like I said, we still have 3 calls available. I'm going to have them through tomorrow. If you want to book it, it's 1 call with me for $55. Usually, being a one-on-one client is, a lot higher investment. And this call is for you if you want to talk about love, marketing, your business, your career, any of it. It's just a really great way to get access to me to talk about what you want to talk about without me having a specific course that I'm launching or speaking on. So anyway, I love you guys, and hello, the smart broker. How are you this morning? I hope you're well. You always light me up when you join my lives. But on a separate note, I can tell you guys, I'm super excited. I'm going to a Judy Garland fragrance event tonight. So I'm super excited. I have this beautiful dress I have not worn in forever. I'm gonna get all dressed up, and I'm so thrilled. And I'm also gonna share with you guys too, because I just feel like being vulnerable today, I guess. It's kind of interesting in this live. I'm going like in different directions, but I felt really vulnerable lately, and I don't know if you guys have felt the same way. There's been a really deep part of me that has like been wanting to go out and wanting to like just go out and connect with people, and like wanting to meet new people. But then I go out and I connect, or I meet new people, and I'm like, this is so boring. I should have just stayed home. Why did I even waste my time basically going out? Because being alone in my home would have been much better than like sitting here and getting ready and getting dressed up. I could have just like been relaxing and chilling. And so, I don't know, I've been in this really weird space lately, you guys, going between these two worlds of like, well, you're 28 and you're young and you're successful and you should go out and enjoy life. And then also like, you should be responsible and do your PhD and do your business and do your journaling and whatever. And I don't know, it's like this just really, I don't want to say this weird duality. It's just this weird space I've been in of like, what do I really want? And then it's like, okay, I think I want to go out. I go out and it sucks. And I'm like, ugh, this is annoying. So that's actually why another reason I wanted to create this course, How to Date, because the most fun I've had recently has been people, I shouldn't say like a friend date, even like someone who's a girl or guy that's a friend, but we go on like a dinner date or just like, go and hang out. And that's actually been the most fun to me lately, rather than like going out and getting ready and going to a party that's like, ugh, whatever. So I just want you to know you're not alone if you're feeling like that. And I think the thing that I'm learning is you have to be so specific about not just going to like a bar or to whatever, but like what's an event that you want to go to, what's a thing that you want to go to, where there's actually going to be like-minded people, not just a party where people are getting like messed up. It's like what's actually something that's like-minded that you would really thrive in. So anyway, I hope that serves you guys. I hope to see you guys in my How to Date course. I'm so excited. I know we've had a few of you enroll already, which is so exciting and so thrilling. And I just am excited to help and be a support for more of you to fall in love and get comfortable with love and get comfortable with knowing that the best is always yet to come. The best is always here. The best is always coming. Hello, Amelia. And so anyway, let's see. We have some comments here on Facebook. Very pretty and beautiful. Thank you. Have a great day. Hi, Rock. So yeah, I just want you to know that I really do take love it's such a sacred feeling, and there's no better feeling than being in love. And I do believe you can be in love with multiple people at one time, maybe not married, obviously, at the same time, but I do believe that your heart can be with multiple people at one time, and that doesn't make you wrong, that doesn't make you bad. Like, your heart could be with one of your best girlfriends, or one of your best guy friends, or your mom, or your dad, or your sister, or your brother, or your niece, or your aunt. You could be really in love with a moment with them. Doesn't mean you're in love with them. And you also can be deeply in love with your partner, deeply in love with whatever. You could be in love with two people. It could be you could be married and you could have a crush on someone, when you're at work or whatever that it is. And I just want you to know there's love is so different and so sacred to so many of us. And love is vastly different. It's experienced vastly different. And, I really want to be a support for you because I just know, like, when I had cancer at age 14, I saw the people who died who didn't live a life they love, who didn't, makes me emotional, who didn't really fall in love with this life, who didn't take the time to cultivate loving relationships. And those people died so bitterly, so horribly. And to witness this at age 14 is really why I've devoted my life to this. And so this work, this course, there's nothing greater I'd rather do to serve you, to be a support for you, and to be a pillar in your journey to love. So anyway, I hope to see you there. If you liked this, it would mean the world to me if you could please share it. It really helps. And leave a comment. I love you. Enjoy your day. Enjoy the start to your weekend. Talk soon.